And good afternoon, V-Club owners, enthusiasts, and IMSA race fans. I am here at the Brembo celebration paddock here with one of our great diamond sponsors and friends, Mr. Ben here from Brembo Brakes. Now, Ben, can you tell me what's going on here with all this 50th anniversary stuff you got laid on these beautiful calipers you have displayed?
Well, it is the 50 years of Brembo racing. So Brembo started in 1961, but we started racing in 1975. So this is the 50th year. So it made sense to come here at Road Atlanta to the Petit Le Mans race and show off some of our heritage and history with our racing calipers on both sides. So we've got a display here with some sports car calipers, a 6-piston forged front caliper and a 4-piston rear. We've also got the LMDH front caliper. This is another billet aluminum nickel-plated caliper on a carbon rotor. We also brought the crown jewels of the Brembo racing catalog, the Formula One carbon rotor and Formula One caliper, and the MotoGP carbon rotor and MotoGP caliper. We've also brought a little sampling of some of the other products that we have available. Over in this display, we've got the performance booth. So if you've got a car and you want to upgrade your brakes, either existing Brembo brakes or other Brembo brakes into something bigger, we've got a number of calipers. The one to the left is fairly exotic. It's the Brembo Bolide caliper from the Bugatti system. This is very much like a racing caliper. It's all billet, it's nickel plated, it's on a carbon rotor. This is not something you would find in our catalog. But just to the left of it, we've got a GTS system. So if somebody was a high-performance track day enthusiast and wanted a caliper that kind of mimicked the performance of a racing caliper but was still streetable, the GTS is a great option. Just to the left of that, we've got a Pista caliper. Pista is the Italian word for track, and this caliper is essentially dedicated to track use. It's forged, but it doesn't have any anti-rattle springs or dust boots, so it's really designed for track days only. And then just to the left of that, we have our enormous BM8. That's Brembo monoblock 8-piston caliper designed for truck and SUV applications. Walking behind me, we've got our aftermarket line for essentially any everyday car. We've got our Brembo extra pads, we've got replacement rotors, and we've even got a selection of replacement calipers, not necessarily track capable, but ones to upgrade from maybe a floating caliper setup. And then my specialty, as the person that manages program management for the original equipment or production cars, we have a variety of caliper systems that we have on offer today in the market. We've got one from the Dodge Charger Daytona. This is the front caliper, it's a 6-piston. Just to the left of it is the new Ford Mustang GTD 6-piston front monoblock caliper and carbon ceramic disc. This car just launched. Right behind it is a caliper that should look very familiar to all of you, which is the carbon ceramic system from the CT5V Blackwing. Still probably the best we have to offer. And then just to the left of that, we have the Chevrolet Corvette Z06 with the Z07 carbon ceramic package. So business is good at Brembo. We're happy to be here and show off all of our performance products, and we're happy to be a partner with the V-Club.
Absolutely. And speaking of when getting into the side of the V-Series models, are there any tips or suggestions that you would offer to some of our members that are interested in actually tracking their cars either on a semi-professional or even professional level?
Well, semi-professional, if you're the average track day warrior on the weekends, the systems that we offer for those cars are all designed to be track capable right from the showroom. So you don't have to do very many modifications, but you do need to make sure that the system is up to snuff in terms of the condition of the part. So if you've been driving the car for a little while, you definitely want to make sure that your rotors aren't showing signs of excessive wear or cracking. You want to check the pad condition and make sure that you have good pad life, at least 50% of pad life remaining. And the other thing that people forget sometimes is brake fluid. You really want to make sure you bleed your system, within a month or two of going to the track to make sure that you've got clean fluid in there. Any .4 should do fine, but Brembo does have our own .4 fluid called Brembo LCF 600. That means low compressibility fluid with a 600-degree boiling point, so that's more than adequate.
Utterly fantastic. And before we close here out, what's one cool fact about Brembo that you wish that everyone knew that didn't necessarily know it beforehand?
You know, a conversation I'm having a lot is actually about when you need carbon ceramic brakes. I think there's a misnomer that carbon ceramic brakes are only for the guys that are really hardcore and go into the track every weekend, but the reality is all the advantages of carbon ceramic are just as good for the guys that are just driving it on the road, driving it to work. In fact, I would almost say it's more advantageous for that crowd. So carbon ceramic is extremely light, and so it improves not only the braking, but the ride and handling and acceleration of the car. It doesn't corrode, right? There's no metal in that rotor. It's a carbon rotor. There's no iron. So you don't have to worry about the brake disc rusting when you leave it in the garage or outside. Also because there's no iron in that rotor, it doesn't make any brake dust at all. Brake dust is just ionized metallic particles coming off of the rotor and sticking to your wheel, but if you have a carbon ceramic brake rotor, that just doesn't happen. The other thing is these discs have an extremely long life. So in normal driving, it's very unlikely that you'll ever have to replace that disc. I know that there's a narrative sometimes that people don't want to opt into carbon ceramic because they're worried about the replacement cost, but the reality is, in normal usage, you should never have to replace that disc. Now, once you start going to the track, it becomes a wear item like everything else. Pads wear out, tires wear out, and the disc will eventually wear out. But for a normal user, and even maybe an occasional track day user, you're going to get a lot of life out of that disc.
Fantastic. Once again, thank you so much for having us, Ben, and thank you for also being a diamond sponsor of the Cadillac V-Club. For everyone that is here enjoying the race at Petit Le Mans, please come by, say hello, learn some of the history of Brembo, their introduction into the racing heritage, and we'll see you around.